have left any much earlier than they have. But again, I think the initial shock to your system, but after 2-3 days you get used to it, and I think the boys will be fine. As you can see, some of them have got short sleeves on.
Fingers and toes are all counted. Kedah will need all of their faculties around them. Even the local Seoul boys are wrapped up nice and warm ahead of this contest. The danger for them is that they will be caught cold, because the expectation is that Seoul will run through into the next round, and that's what Kedah must maybe feed on. It's the underdog mentality, and going into the home of Seoul, believing in themselves.
Yes, you've got to believe in your own ability, and you've got to go out there with the attitude like, FC Seoul, you are the favorites. You are going to have to beat us. We don't have to beat you. You bring that steely determination into the game, and it's interesting because FC Seoul have put out their first team there.
They certainly have. Cho Young-soo has gone with a regular back three. He'll have Kim Nan-chun as the experience between two young centre-backs. Osmar Barber in the heart of midfield with Park Chu-young and Park Dong-jin, another former under-23 international, leading the way. Omar Al-Yakubi is a very experienced AFC official in charge. As for Kedah, well, we mentioned the front guys, but also defensively, Shahril Sari comes in for his debut. Now that's an interesting one. That went under the radar for me. He's held off Ifwat Akmal to earn the place in goal.
Oh, well, he certainly must have shown a lot of good things in training. That Ideal Sharin has actually picked him much lighter than Ifwat. Definitely better agility as well, and it's going to be a busy man today.
Cho Young-soo is the long-time coach of FC Seoul. He has his side playing very much the way he wants to. Former top-class player himself, Adil Sharin. What a performance from him. He did well with Home United, took them to the later stages of the AFC Cup, as they just have the Kedah anthem sung by the little knot of Kedah fans on tour. Great to say that. Kedah in the Alistar boys on tour. And for Adil, his one problem, he's got to do without the suspended Shakir Hamza, who was suspended in that Home United run before he even came to Kedah.
Yeah, very disappointing, that you've got to shuffle your defense. But having said that, this is going to be a very, very big season for Irfan Zakaria. He showed a lot of promise as an under-23 player, and now he's shown that he is on decline as an under-23 player. This is a big season for him. He's got to nail that centre-back position and say, I am going to be a regular starter for Kedah, because I want to be a regular starter for the Malaysian national team.
Irfan Zakaria is number 17 on the right-hand side of your screen. He made the move from Kuala Lumpur. That's another astute signing from Ideal. I think the expectation levels are there now. With Ideal, when he first came in, yes, you make a cup final, that should do. But second season, you've proven you can make it to the top four. You're in these high-profile games. Expectation levels do go up for Ideal.
Oh, very much so. And the association has given him the backing, signing players like Capuchiche. So it's great to see, that they believe in Ideal Sharin, and they are giving him the resources to take Kedah to the next level.
Renan Alves, the Brazilian, has got to be disciplined today. Shahril Sari will get his debut. What a game to come into it. Pitch looking absolutely superb. The crowd is sparse, but that lack of atmosphere in some ways may well be an assistance to Kedah. Omani referee Yakubi prepares to get underway. There will be an official countdown, and Kedah get their AFC Champions League third qualifying round match just about to get underway. They've got 5 goals under the belt already against Taipo. Let's see if they can produce a real upset against FC Seoul. We are underway. Kedah in the predominantly white strip, going right to left and immediately trying to pick out the pace of Hadin Azman, a signing from Felde United. Coming the other way, Park Dong-jin. Outside of him, Kwang Min, 31-year-old. Dong-jin will look to get the cross in. It's way beyond everybody. A little bit of space, even in the first few seconds, for Seoul to try and exploit.
Yeah, we already seen very early on Dong Jin, receiving the ball in not a wide position, but an inside right position, and then waiting for the overlap. The return pass was great. The cross was horrible.
Dong Jin. Alves gets in the way. Alves' second chance. Rizal Ghazali, a long-time Malaysia international. He hopes still to be a Malaysia international.
Well, I mean, once again, he's not a regular starter for the Malaysian national team.
Here's Alibayev, the Uzbek, hoisted high. Dong Jin's header, and bounced in and pushed away by Shahril Sari. That is a better chance for Park Ju-young than he really made it look.
Yes, indeed. Once again, great cross from the left-hand side. What does your big man do? Hits it down to the smaller man. And it was that deflection. He hits the ground. That deflection of Alves made it more difficult for Shahril Sari.
Don't concede in the first 10. Don't concede in the first 20. 5 in the penalty area. Irfan doesn't quite clear it properly. Comes back in. And it's over the top there from Hwang Hyun-soo, the former under-23 international, ghosted in unmarked.
Yes, indeed. The ball was half cleared, and the defenders should really have pushed forward. But it is Badrul Bakhtiar who's caught napping in that situation. Lucky for him, no real composure from Hyun-soo.
Possession gifted away once again. They've come out firing on all cylinders. David Rowley just beaten to the punch by Osmar, the Spaniard, the Aussie-born Malaysian, is had in. Maybe they can just slow things down. Kapar Sherman, Renan Alves. Badrul will like the ball deep to play that kind of quarterback role, but Picheche is saying play it to my feet.
Yeah, we spoke about Badrul and his passing range. Right from kickoff, he played a great diagonal, and over there, just that little bit of a lack of an understanding between Chiche and Badrul. Yes, Chiche wanted it to feed. Badrul did not play a bad ball, actually. He's just behind the defense, too far for the goalkeeper to come, and Chiche perhaps should have made that second run.
Kim Ju-sung. At the back, very in vogue for Seoul. They have an interesting interpretation of it as well. They do try to get the ball wide, which they have done. This is Ko Kwang-min. Alves steps in. Put forward by Alif Yusuf. Sherman. Time from the Selangor club, PKNS. Just a little bit of extra sharpness there from Ju Se-jong, the international, at the head of Hamid Nazari. Kim Han-gil. Tackle coming in from Rizal. Second corner though. What are we, 4.5 minutes in, and it's been a long 4.5 minutes, Chevy, for Kedah.
Yes, time is dragging on for Kedah, but credit to Rizal Ghazali. Their one-on-one situation does well not to allow a cross to be played in by Park Ju-young with the dead ball now.
Shahril Sari gets a fist to it and then driven back in and off the line from Renan Alves. Well, Shahril got two hands to the ball, but only put it to the edge of the penalty area. I think it was Kim Han-gil who put it back in. So 3 scares inside the opening 5 minutes. Kim Ju-sung, indeed, is now back on possession. Han-gil runs at David Rowley. Rowley eases him off the ball. Can't really complain about that one, David.
Well defended. I mean, in a one-on-one situation, once again, you know, you stop the attacking player. It's a foul, nothing more. But this was it. I think, you know, Sharil really should have hung on to the ball, and then nobody wants to push up. I mean, Irfan Zakaria is literally standing on the line. What is important is, you know, to make sure that you all push up as a group to squeeze the play.
Park Chu-young allowed to drift, and Park shot. Alves once again, it is who gets in the way. Osmar Alif spread out wide. Now then, Hadin Azman, he's got Sherman ahead of him. Nazari ran into trouble, and Osmar Baba is there very quickly. Filipino is Nazari, and signed from Filipino football. Born in Sweden.
Well, in a rare opportunity, they get into the FC Seoul half, and Hadin really shouldn't have been that selfish. He had support there from Sherman, played wide to Sherman, go around him perhaps on the overlap.
Now then, David Rowley drives forward. Faced 1-1 by Ju-sung. Couldn't get the better of him, and Osmar, who always seems to have time, to Sejong. It's an attacking-ish formation from Kedah. Perhaps maybe dropping a little bit deep here. Again, going round the outside, no problem for Kim Han-gil. And Alves has to make another big interception.
And thanks to a little bit of a misunderstanding there, Ju-sung perhaps didn't expect that ball. But well done, Renan, because as a centre-back, you need to provide cover. You cannot allow too much space between your fullback and yourself.
Just out of play, but Seoul have approached this with a professional air. Neat and tidy. Alibayev, the Uzbek, who's really creative. Made a real hit for the national team. Rizal fires it forward, finds Kepre. Sherman blocked off by Nam Chun. Long ball over the top, was looking for Dong Jin. He could have let that run on perhaps. Osmar wins the first ball. Sejong, if he can go outside, he's got a Han-gil one way, or he comes the other way and finds Kwang Min. Kwang Min just runs into Hadin Azman. Two number 27s up against each other. Sherman beaten by Osmar. Hyun-soo. Hyun-soo carries on. Alves beaten in the air by a late jump from Park Chu-young.
Very interesting from FC Seoul. There's, you know, you've seen them now switch play ever so frequently, ever so fast, from left to right, right to left, and the wing backs really are being given too much space. Hadin's got to be on his toes. He's got to go with the wing back, not with the right side centre back.
Paul Sherman runs out of pace. It's almost like there's a 5 yards difference between the players. The first reaction from Seoul that much quicker than Kedah at the moment, as Badrol helps it forward, easily picked out by Kim Nan-chun. Kipre will work hard. Realising at the moment, this is why we do the pre-season work, all the hard fitness for these kind of games.
Whatever they take away from this game, there's, you know, it's very, very important on how they approached the season, the local domestic season.
Alibayev put out to Han-gil. Another header comes from Park Chu-young. That's 3 chances in 10 minutes for Park. But Kedah have survived that first 10 minutes, shall we say?
I mean, you know, another great ball from a wide left. Chu Young does well, but just doesn't get enough power behind that. If it had been Dong Jin, perhaps it could have created more problems for Sharil Sari.
Here's Alif Yusuf. It's Nazari. Foot's high from Hadin. Referee at the very least will have a word with him, but he did seem to pull out. The referee Yakubi, quite rightly, yeah, can't put your foot up like that. We saw in a recent under-23 semi-final a not dissimilar challenge, but there was a follow-through from the player that led to a straight red card, and he did pull out of that one, Chevy.
Yes, he did. Lucky for him, and I think the referee was quite lenient. But I think it was the under-23s, and it was the Uzbekistan substitute who'd come on
5 minutes earlier.
He had his eyes on the ball, but there's no excuse if your foot lands in someone's midriff.
Hadin. Zari's finding it difficult to really get to the pace of this game, as are the rest of the midfield. Look at Nazari, Rowley and Badrol, and you can see their marks, but they're not the fleetest of foot.
It takes a while. There's because of the cold, sometimes it takes a while for your body to warm up again. And we saw at the when the teams came out, FC Seoul had their big jackets on, because they wanted to retain the heat, the body heat from after their warm up. And Kedah came on in their shirts, playing shirts.
Kim Han-gil goes outside. Ju Sung, centre back, who's raided down that left-hand side a lot. This is what they call overlapping centre-back, Chevy.
Well, indeed. I mean, it's not only the wing-back who gets forward, but the left-side centre-back, Ju Sung, we saw in the picture, he comes in to lend a hand as well. So they overload that department. They played some decent crosses into the box. Not the last one, though. And you find that, was it Chiche or Kappa Sherman? Who is supposed to go with that left-side centre-back? So FC Seoul finding spaces down both flanks. It's just that the lack of quality finish, quality headers that have let them down.
Great point. The forwards, we talk about them going forward, but they've got to do their defensive work as well. Looks like it's Chiche Kipre who's down that right-hand side. Chu Sejong. Chu Young. Jin. Heels on the touchline. It's very old-fashioned. Good to see. Nazari.
Using his body to ease the striker off the ball.
Sherman was a late arrival in Seoul. He had a visa problem, I understand, and only arrived with the team, I think it was either yesterday or today. So hadn't had as much time to acclimatise as the rest. Look at the movement off the ball from Alibayev. Two in the penalty area if the cross comes in. Han-gil brings it up. Edge of the box, not the best ball. And Sejong can get the strike away up, and Zakaria in there first. Good strength from Kipricheche. Rizal booms it forward and asks Kapar Sherman to chase, but as one defender deals with the long ball, the other just intervenes.
I think that's very good defending. I mean, if Kedah have only got one up front, you play two at the back. And that is why they've dominated midfield. They've gotten and found space in wide positions. You just feel like it's coming. A goal is coming for them because they've dominated possession. It's good passing, good movement. Just perhaps the intensity is not high enough yet.
Kim Soo-jung. Alif just gets there. Nazari nicks it off Alibayev's toe. Good take by Sherman, and he's able to hold it up. Rowley. It's just the difference in expectation. Osmar so quick into the challenge. He got the ball, he thought he had time and space. Park Ju-young, Dong Jin. Park Ju-young. Chansari is out. Well protected by Alif.
Yes, Alif does really well. He goes with his man, not with the ball. And Dong Jin not able to find space. I mean, look at this clever play between the two strikers, two attacking players, and Alif does really well.
Sherman beginning to have a little bit more joy against the central defenders. I think he's realising he's not going to be given a free kick every time he's touched by a centre-back, so he's got to be strong. There's Osmar. Oh, that kind of space in your peril. Gill. And then an awkward challenge, but an effective one.
Indeed, once again, I mean, crosses coming in either high into the box or low and hard. And very good defending. I mean, very good anticipation from Alves. Was on the wrong side, but just enough for Shahril to collect that safely.
Charles had more touches than any other player on the pitch. Alves, a couple of important interceptions. Alves, it'll be important for Kedah this season, particularly if they do get past this formidable hurdle and make it to the Champions League. Angil, Alibayev at pace, brought down by Alves. That will be a yellow card for the Brazilian.
Well, you look at that situation and what he does really well. As I said, you need to provide cover for your fullback. When that run was made by the attacking player, and Alves does really well to get across, but just physically he's much stronger. Doesn't get the ball, and you see it's Hangil who's sent flying. Foul maybe? Sorry, foul, yes. Yellow card? I'm not sure there's.
In the modern game?
No.
You always give people things to talk about, Chebs.
No, I mean, yeah, maybe I played the game too long, that's why.
Alibayev, the number 9, and Park Ju-young orchestrating this free kick. Osmar, faced by David Rowley. Park Dong-jin, decent in the air as well. 5 in the 6-yard box. They go short, and it breaks to Alves. Che puts it straight back to Park Ju-young. You don't want to do that. Alibayev. Little dink into Park. Park eases it up. Dong Jin can't get there. Desperate defending from Kedah, but they've lasted 19 minutes.
Yes, they have. They've dealt with almost everything. Which has not been much, actually. Crosses into the box, and situations where you see two FC Seoul players going for the same ball, getting in each other's way, making it easy for Kedah to clear their penalty box.
Irfan Zakaria in first there ahead of Dong Jin. Hadin. Much prefers to be going forward, Hadin Azman.
Yeah, but that's on two occasions now in the 20 minutes we've seen. He's had support on the left. There is support on the left, played to the player who is supporting you. What he does, he turns around, he goes into the middle, and he turns back, and then the move breaks down. It's not every time you have to run with the ball.
Long ball over the top, finds Alibayev. Park Ju-young. Their foot, oh, just wide from Osmar. That was a deliberate effort to guide it into the top corner.
Once again, problems down that left-hand side. The ball is played inside Rizal. This time, Alves doesn't get across quickly enough. And there is time, there is space, but it was going to be more difficult for Osmar. So from a good position, where Park Ju-young had his foot on the ball, they tried to find a better position. At the end of the day, it all comes to naught.
It wasn't quite as close as it seemed from the side angle from Osmar. Look, very artistic. And then he wins an old-fashioned header. From a centre-back, so to have that kind of mobility from a centre-back, yeah, let's move him into midfield. As Alves has been yellow-carded, but concedes the throw-in. Alibayev, it's well played by Rizal Ghazali.
Well played indeed. You want your fullback to be strong in one-on-ones, and he shielded Alibayev away from the ball, but still I don't think he's getting any support on the right hand side. As a left fullback, Alif is getting more support from Hadin in front of him, but Rizal Ghazali has been left to fend on his own. The ball's been played over him, behind him. They've worked him very, very hard. Not first choice for Malaysia anymore because that position belongs to Matthew Davies, but Rizal is a strong, solid, dependable fullback.
Bowley's flick on. Azari. Rizal goes back to Sharil. Rizal, Alves. Sharil, one availability. You don't want to be mucking too much there, Renan. He's a bit short for Alif. Well, it's not the most convincingly played out from the back, but in the end, relatively effectively.
Yes, indeed. It might look very scrappy from Kedah, but they are getting the ball out of defense. And to be able to play with the goalkeeper, to pass the ball around, in and around your own penalty box, it is always important because it makes it 2 levels below FC Seoul. Badrul sitting at that foot of that midfield has had more touches, has not given the ball away as often as Rauli and Nazari have.
Hangil. One half of the way through the first half. Ball over the top. Rizal back covering once again. Jane it was pulling out wide.
But it is important to make the opposition work. You've got to make them chase, and sometimes players like Park Ju-young, they don't like closing defenders down, they don't like chasing.
Good strength from Rowley. Now then, can Kipre get the better of Kim Ju-sung? No is the answer. Jesse Jong having a look at what's on. The answer is almost inevitably Osmar Baba. The way Ju-sung is getting forward, you mentioned this several times now, they've got that overload. Alibayev, Hangil and Kim Ju-sung making it a 3v2 almost every time it's over on that side. White shirts back this time. Haven't had your reaction to the Kedah attire yet. It's the Kedah strip for this year. It's different.
Yeah, it is different. It's a rip off of the Croatian tablecloth with a dash of green. Well, I like it. I mean, you got to be innovative. It might be gaudy, but then again, it becomes a talking point. That is the whole idea.
Kim Ju-sung.
Unique.
It is.
It's a unique kid.
We'll remember it. Particularly if they can get over this hurdle. 0-0 at the moment, 25 minutes gone. Hangil. Alif came short, had in to Nazari. Had in. Well, he's got support ahead of him. Kiprichiche was saying, play it into me instead. Sherman can try and spin his man. Past Sherman, his first attempt on goal at this level of competition. Let's not forget, this fella was playing second division in Malaysia just 3 short seasons ago.
Well, that's everything right. I mean, you know, that was the first time I think we've seen Kedah string 3-4 passes together. Hadin actually passing the ball, but Sherman should have had more composure. There's, you know, it's a big difference between having a local Malaysian player showing that kind of lack of composure than to have a foreign player who's supposed to bring that extra quality. Disappointing.
Osma. What a take that is. Kwang Min. Hyun-soo hoisted high. That's not so good, but it will run right for Kim Han-gil. Here's Al-Ghazali, helped out by David Rowley, and referee decides that Rowley got the ball 50-50, says David.
Well, Rowley doesn't really touch the ball, so can't blame the referee for blowing up on that one. That is a foul.
Splendid moustache Mr. Rowley possesses.
Well, Kedah have dealt with all the crosses, but this is a dead ball, so there could be better delivery on this one. Marking's got to be tight. Go with your man.
Osmar, number 5, as that's whipped into the near post. Disappointingly, Alibayev just feeds it out second time. Alibayev can be a magician. Drives it in. Dealt with by Badrol. Janche, Rowley. Muscled off the ball. The big, strong athletes are the Korean lads. Just invites the run from Kim Han-gil. Gil is blocked off. Haven't seen the textbook for that clearance from Rizal, but it's at the expense of the third corner of the game.
It is, and I thought, you know, he did well to block the first one. He needed to show composure for the second. But at this moment in time, you know, I think even the substitutes are getting bored from watching their own team.
Park Joo-young.
And that's FC Seoul.
Yes. Again, he's allowed to go short. Great ball in from Park Joo-young. Well, their possessional stats are high. Their crosses into the box. They're into more than 20. Sharil's been forced into 4 saves, but none of them particularly difficult.
Not at all. I mean, you know, domination is one thing, Des, you know, but effectiveness is another. They have dominated, as you said, all the stats are in their favor, but have they been effective? Have they forced Sharil Sari into a flying save or a difficult save? No, not at all.
Alves can't be too... Well, for a moment I thought the referee had gone over and given the free kick against Renan Alves there for the handball. Indeed, though, he had given it for the free kick against the Brazilian. Sherman barges into Kim Han-gil.
Well, 30 minutes gone, Des, you know, and it's been played at a very, very low pace. You know, there's no tempo to FC Seoul's game, and this allows it easy, or rather makes it easier for Kedah to deal with. They haven't really had to deal with, you know, someone with blistering pace or a high tempo game. So all in all, it's very, very comfortable for Kedah.
Han-gil. Ju-sung tries to get round, and Badrol wanted some help from his goalkeeper there. He wanted Charles Sari to come out, and I think he has a word with Charles. Come on.
Well, we talked about Badrul Bakhtiar and his evolution from an attacking midfielder to a holding midfielder, and I think he's done well. He hasn't had any support from his mid.
Earned him the right as Osmo Baba tries to earn Seoul the right to drive forward. Kwang Min. And does well. Rowley able to hack it clear, but it'll come straight back to a black shirt. Osmar again. Look at the space provided here for Kim Han-gil. Han-gil. Well cushioned on the chest by Park Dong-jin. Kipre will chase, and Kipre is denied by a really alert save from Yu Sang-hoon.
I mean, this is extra special save from Yu Sang-hoon because he hasn't had anything to do so far, but he's called upon to pull off the most difficult save the either goalkeeper has had to deal with. Well done. I mean, Kapil Sherman thinking very, very quickly. Kipre, very quick thinking from Kipre, and Kedah finally get a chance to test Sang-hoon once again from a set-piece situation. Super save. It wasn't easy. I mean, he was running backwards. The ball was dropping.
Well, it comes in and is just guided clear by Kim Nan-chun. The big men fought for that. Now they've got to get back because they're caught maybe on a 3-on-3. Alibayev. Dong-jin, well, Dong-jin went away from the ball. Sharon Sari is out, and that's blocked off by Irfan Zakaria to block off Dong-jin.
Well, we saw a rise in tempo, and it was a misunderstanding between Alibayev and Dong-jin. I mean, this cannot happen at this level. These boys have been playing together, just completely sends the ball the wrong way, and I would say that Irfan Zakaria is a very, very lucky defender. This is the earlier attempt from Kipre. Quality save. Could have been one of the best goals of the season.
Kipre Cheche scored a hat-trick against Taipo. And then Azman scoring the other two in a 5-1 win. That was last week, so he's clearly got his shooting boots on. Brought them over from the East Coast in Terengganu. There's Irfan Zakaria. To Sharil. Kim Ju-sung just shrugged aside the challenge of Cheche Kipre. Kwang Min. Great movement off the ball. To Jung. Again, Renan Alves is there. No back pass. Sharyl Sari thought about it. And again with a good contribution. You don't want to just kick the ball away when you've got it like that, Chevy Singh.
No, you don't. I mean, you know, just slow it down a little bit. Doesn't matter, because if you don't have that accuracy of kicking the ball out of your hands to your striker, keep it. Keep possession.
Osmar. Ju-sung. Han-gil. He's got these little triangles all over the pitch. Chu Se-jong. Beaten in the air. Dong-jin. And get the second chance. And the third chance, Dong-jin. Alif. Azari can belt it clear. It's all a little bit desperate. Osmar ahead of Sherman. Alibayev looks for the 1-2. That will be corner number 5 for FC Seoul. But we're approaching 35 minutes, Chevy Singh, and that scoreline top left says Seoul 0, Kedah 0.
Yes, indeed, and Kedah have had the best chance of the game so far. FC Seoul, like I said, too slow, too many passes in midfield. The first 20 minutes they were switching play, getting crosses in, but as I say, dominating but not effective.
for attacking from the penalty spot. Osmar wants to get near post. Oh, there's a hand up there, but there is a hand, and is he given the penalty? And yeah, what's he done there? Well, Renan Alves, he's saying there was a push. It's Renan Alves's card, and it's a red card for Renan Alves. The hand was up, he's saying it's a push. Second yellow for Alves, penalty for FC Seoul. Catastrophic moment for Kedah. There is no VAR here, Chevy.
No, not at all. And I mean, you look at that. It is his own teammate. It is his own teammate. And that's Nazari who's pushed Alves in the back. And Alves has gone up like a goalkeeper. I mean, I've never seen anything as silly as this in a long time. And get sent off for a second yellow just when things were settling down for Kedah. Just when Kedah, were catching getting a second win. And it is Nazari who pushes Alves in the back. Alves' arms goes up, catches the ball or blocks the ball, and I mean, I'm sorry, Des, but you cannot defend this. It's silly, it's stupid, unnecessary, but it's happened, and now Kedah have to face the consequences. Second yellow for intentional handball, and one of your better defenders, a defender who had been having a good game, gets sent off. Wow. Honestly, I've never seen you this quiet for that long, Des, but never mind, I'll just keep going. It's Park Ju-yong, pressure is on him because they haven't played well. They've dominated, they've not been effective, they've played at a very slow tempo, but the circumstances, unforeseen circumstances that happen in football now favor FC Seoul. It's pretty much a gift. I mean, they score here, they go one up, they're going to play against a 10-man Kedah. Everything is in FC Seoul's favor. Sharil Sari, up to you now.
Park Ju-yong finds the back of the net, and Kedah are a goal down and a man down. 7 minutes before the interval. Emphatic finish. There wasn't much doubt in my mind, even though I think Cheryl might get a hand to this, but Omid Nazari.
Yeah, we see that it is Nazari now with that push. But why does Alves have to go up in the air like that, with his arms up in the air like that? I mean, you cannot defend that. I'm sorry, Renan Alves, you have let the team down.
He's already
unnecessary
on a yellow card.
Yellow. Well, I thought the referee was a bit too quick with the first yellow, but second yellow, no, we cannot defend that. That was silly, that was stupid, that was unnecessary, and quite simply, Alves has cost Kedah the game.
Well, maybe not the game, but a goal, and he's certainly put them in the most difficult situation without a regular centre-half. Shakir Hamza suspended for this match. Renan Alves now red-carded. Renan Alves missed 2 domestic cup finals last season with suspension. Now then, Dongji, free header.
Should have done better once again. The problem here is that, the ball is lobbed in again, so there's no pace on the ball, and when a striker goes up like that, the ball is slowing down. It comes to you, you've got to generate extra power from your lower back to try that to hit that ball in. It's not that easy. So good idea of getting the cross in, but the quality of the crosses have been too poor, and it's no surprise it's Rowley who's been taken out, because I think he's had an absolute nightmare in central midfield.
Zilheri Zulkefli comes on. Reorganisation all over the pitch. Temporary centre-back there, Zulheri. Comes off the knee. Okay, not a big one for you, young fella.
Well, I think, you know, I like Ideal Sharin's thinking behind this one. Normally, you get a centre defender sent off, you take off one of your attacking players and bring on an extra defender. What he has done, he's taken off his worst player on the pitch in David Rowley and replaced him with a centre-back, which means Hadin Azman has got to work extra hard defensively now because Sherman and Chiche don't like defending.
Breaks to the edge of the box, not caught by Alibayev. Osmar gets up first. Zulheri can only feed it through to Alibayev. Great turn from Alibayev. Gets better of Sherman. Alibayev lifts it up. Great save by Sharrell. Can it be put back in? Park. Second save from Sharrell. Hanging on grimly. Sejong wide.
Well done, Sharrell Sari. Yes, he's pretty much keeping Kedah in the game still, if you want to call it that. Good header, very good save. Tries, just got in two minds. Do I catch it or do I block it? Blocks it. And then the second ball, I mean, you talk about his reactions. He was very, very quick off his feet to be able to block that second shot at him.
Zulheri has to be careful. Sharrell guides it forward. Badrol has gone into a straightforward centre-back position, Zulheri. Have to deal with Dongjin's prowess in the air and the movement of Park Chu-young. Switch wide by Alibayev to Hangil. Jusong. Zulheri can't get there, another fine save. Dongjin got there ahead of Irfan. And he is earning his corners, Sharrell Sari. Alibayev. He fancies one from distance, another Sharrell palm. It's Seoul versus Sharrell at the moment. And a foul by Kapar Sherman. Sweating profusely in the cold is the goalkeeper because he's had to work hard, and Kedah need to be disciplined, need to be on their toes. If they can't win the first header, win the second ball.
Don't concede a second. That is very important now. Going to half-time 1-0. You can plan your second half.
Mark whips that in, dealt with at the near post by Rizal. Sherman, sorry, Kipre had that one excellent effort. It's Osmar, the Spaniard. Oh, a little bit of a circus trick, and Alibayev, and Sharrell's trailing leg makes a great save. I think that was the centre-back Nam Chun who was looking to get on target there. Now Kipre. Hyun-Soo indeed it was. Hyun-Soo wins the tackle. Nazari. "44 terrifying minutes as far as Kedah are concerned, and there's another 45 to come." Alibayev tries to play it through Zulheri. Sherman, safety first. Zulheri trying to play themselves out of danger. Sherman was looking for the ball down the line. Baba. 2 minutes to add on. Angil, Badrol, Sherman. Zulheri. take by keeper Cheche. He looks for Hadin Azman. Hadin. Flag is up for offside against Hadin. First time he's really found even a sliver of space.
Well, first time they've shown some determination, played their way out from the back, and then Hadin first time making that forceful sprint off the ball, wanting the ball, just getting caught offside. So they may be a goal down, a man down, but they still got good spirits.
Movement is hurting them though, not tracking the runners as Angil hangs one up. It'll come all the way to Kwang Min. Hadin. Alif slips it past his man. Then looks up for something in a white shirt and wins the throw-in. Bizarrely, it's been a little bit more composed since Renan Alves went off the pitch.
Yes, indeed. If you retain possession of the ball, you force the opponent's attacking players to work harder to close you down, and we all know attacking players hate doing a defensive work, and that is why suddenly Kedah are beginning to find space.
Sherman. Hadin Azman. He's outside. Given away to Jusung. Half-time whistle goes. So deserving their one off until the bizarre penalty. Renan Alves was always already on a yellow card,
which I thought was harsh, actually.
But he's on the yellow card,
yes,
so he's got to change his way of thinking.
Yes, definitely. I mean, his mindset, but there's, as you reminded me just now, he missed 2 cup finals due to getting sent off. So, I mean, I would really suspect his temperament. Not a man that you want for big matches.
Dongjin. Kwang Min. Is there a fence you've ever sat on, Chevy?
I wasn't made like that.
Free kick goes the way of FC Seoul. The men in black with white pinstripes. It's a very clinical, professional look. The Kedah strip is memorable. Will they be able to produce, if they can produce, a rearguard action? It'll hold them in good stead for a season which starts on the 28th of February for them domestically, with a tough match against Johor Darul Taksim. But first they must defend a free kick. 4 or 5 black shirts in the penalty area. Not too young, takes just about everything. He's got Osmar and Jae-song up front. A great ball in, and Badrul plays it. Park's second ball, headed back in by Kim Joo-sung. And straight into the safe gloves of Sharul Sari. Good movement from Alibayev. Too close to the goalkeeper.
Very close indeed, and Alibayev, all left foot, gets the ball on his right foot. I mean, good defending there from Sherman, and on his right foot, not as effective, trying to look for the far corner, but was put under a lot of pressure, and Sharil does extremely well. Sharil Sari, the goalkeeper, does extremely well once again.
Baktia is down at the moment, not happy with something that he feels was off the ball. Maybe just trying to get into the referee's mind. Maybe Kedah are feeling a little bit hard done by it. It's a late challenge. There's not a lot there, is there?
Well, accidental.
Alibayev it was.
Yeah, not on purpose. It was an accident, and these things do happen. But credit to Badrul. I mean, he soldiers on in that deep-lying midfield position. Could do with better support, but there doesn't seem to be much in terms of midfielders on the bench for Kedah.
Omid Nazari helps it back. He's making his... it's not his debut. They played last week, of course, against Taipo. He's a new signing, a new addition to the Kedah squad this year. Here's the Hassian Coulter. Loses out to Osmar Baba. Alibayev. Alibayev once again. Width provided by Kwang Min.
Well, credit to Alif. He's had a lot of work to do down that side, but he's dealt really well with whoever's come around, be it the winger or the wing back.
Hyun-soo helps it over. 2-0. Dongjin attacked the ball. As soon as it was looped over, he made himself favourite to score his first Champions League goal of the season.
Well, he's threatened in the air, and this time around, I think, you know, what we spoke about was the quality of the delivery. You needed to whip them in, not lob them in, and this one is whipped in. I mean, there's a lot of pace behind that cross, and Dongjin does really well. I mean, there's got to be no contest really. Rizal perhaps should have been stronger in the challenge. The goalkeeper was always not going to be able to get to it because it was curling away from goal. And Dongjin gets a goal that he deserves.
This could be a long 45 minutes for Kedah if Seoul decide to be ultra-professional. No chance for Shahril Sari again.
It was a quality delivery this time.
It's a centre-back, what Hyun-soo. If your centre-backs put in that kind of delivery in Chevy, you're doing something right.
Indeed, you know, they hadn't had much to deal with at the back, so there's always they play with 3 centre-backs, so one always has joined into midfield and come very, very high up the pitch as well. So they've always been able to overload, especially more so now that Kedah have only got 10 on the pitch.
Park Ju-young, there's the centre-back once again, Hyun-soo. And the overlap as Van Zakaria gets there. There's 2 in the penalty area. Dongjin goes for the spectacular.
Well, had time, had space. This is the goal. I mean, what a header! You can't defend a header like that. I mean, he's, you know, pretty much gone way above Rizal Ghazali to meet that.
Do you not want Rizal to be attacking the ball though? He's rather waiting for it.
Well, it's always going to be a big problem from a standing jump against a running jump. I mean, Dongjin is running on to meet the ball. Rizal stood there. You know, he can't get any much height even if he wanted to. So the running jump is always going to give you a big advantage. And this is something that people do not realize when you're defending. You pretty much are going to do a standing jump. The attacking players are always going to be running and jumping towards the ball.
Badral with a free kick. Towards the goalkeeper, it's an own goal. Osmar into his own net. Lovely ball in from Badral.
Well, we all spoke about Badrul's range of passing, and Badrul's does deliver a great dead ball as well. And for this one here, I mean, you've got to look at the quality of the delivery there. I mean, it's whipped in, it's coming down. The goalkeeper is coming out to collect it rather than catch it at the highest point. And no surprise that Osmar scores an own goal because the ball was dropping at that time. Perhaps the keeper didn't give him a shout. But like I said, it's the quality of the delivery. That was one of the best deliveries I've seen in a long, long time.
Osmar Baba, own goal. Great ball in from Badral. He always has had that ability to, as you say, for the cross, for the Seoul goal, to whip it in. Don't float it high, because then that does defender the chance. Solheri puts it out wide. Park was chasing. Kwang Min, he's blocked. Smart. Pretty much unflappable. Sejong loses out. Sejong then wins it back. He's the only current international in this Seoul lineup, which, considering how well they do in the K-League, top 3, It's a slight surprise. A whole glut of former under-23 internationals. They've got a really good youth policy. Osmar. Jin. 31-year-old is closed down by Hadin. Clipped by Hadin. I'm assuming the referee is just going to give a drop ball here and
the ball was dipping when he's gone to meet it. The goalkeeper is coming out. The goalkeeper always wants to catch the ball at the highest point. Use your arms, just like Renan Alves. But it's a complete mess up. And for me, it's the quality of the delivery. I mean, you can't defend that delivery.
Need to give a shout out to Devinder Singh here, who comes up with some marvellous stats about Malaysian football. It's 53 years since the Malaysian team beat a South Korean side in Asian club competition. Selangor beating Tungsten Mining Company in the 1967 Asian Cup. Now it was Kapar Sherman. Going to be some story if Kedah were to end that 53-year barren spell. Be one heck of a story. We'd be talking about it for the next 50 years. Alibayev spreads it out wide. Overlapping, this is Hyun-Soo.
A right side centre back once again.
Hadin doing the good tracking back.
Hadin did well on this occasion, and yes, you need to put in that graft as well. And Hadin, not in the first half hour, wasn't interested in chasing back. Alif was having to work overtime, as was Rizal Ghazali, the right fullback. But slowly and surely, Kedah have come into this game. Yes, they got lucky with that own goal from Osmar Barber. But don't forget, before Seoul scored, Kedah had the best opportunity in the first half.
But also Shahril Sari's made 9 saves.
Definitely. I mean, you know, you come out of this game, a goalkeeper is man of the match. There's no disgrace.
Namchun. Kapar Sherman and Great. Two big name signings in Malaysian football. One come from PKNS in Selangor, the other from Terengganu. Both know where the back of the net is, so there is a threat there. Can Kedah hold on at the other end? That's the question. Park Chu-young. Should we be charitable and say it took a little bobble?
Well, we spoke about how pristine the pitch was at the beginning of the game, Des.
You're horrible.
And I don't see too many players having dug it up in the first half. That was just very, very, very poor from Chu-young. And that's FC Seoul here. I'm trying to think of them, you know, going into the group stages. What are they going to bring to the group stages? At this moment in time, they don't look special to me. They don't look like, you know, they're going to be a threat in the group stages of the Champions League. They're nowhere near the FC Seoul that had Dejan Damjanovic, Adriano up front, and who used to tap people and pieces out of people with their pace and intensity.
Hyun-Soo comes forward. Shahril quickly off his line to pick it up from Park Dong-jin. He scored the second, a towering header on 48 minutes. It's got this correspondent worried for Kedah's chances in the second half, but credit to Kedah. In the subsequent 10 minutes or so, they've more than acquitted themselves well. Alibayev. Kwang Min. Sejong. Sharrell, hurt by his own teammate there. And the foot is high against Gill, but Sharrell Sari coming out to make the punch, then collided with his own central defender. And this is a concern for Kedah.
Well, you've got to look at the goalkeeper, his eyes on the ball. It's the substitute central defender, Zulkhairi, coming back in. These things happen, but once again, yes, that is dangerous play, and it is a free kick, but credit to this goalkeeper. I mean, he did what he is supposed to do, command your penalty box. Even if you have to wipe your teammates out, you do that. Evidence of that, there's on my lip. Getting wiped out by my own goalkeeper.
Many years ago, huh?
Yeah.
Sharrell hobble away. Ifat Akmal is on the bench if required. An international substitute should it be required.
Well, Ideal trying his best now, you know, to try to give some pointers to his attacking players. And Zulkhairi gets back onto his feet. Zulkhairi Zulkifli, I think he's done well, coming on as a sub for Renan Alves.
As we look at the travelling Kedah fans who aren't really enjoying the cold, wrapped up warm, but the Kedah 10 on the pitch is Sharrell Sari in goal, Rizal Ghazali, Zulkhairi Zulkifli, Irfan Zakaria and Alif Yusuf along the back, Badrol and Obin Nazari protecting them, with Hadin, Kapar Sherman down the right, and Cheche Kipre through the middle. As for Seoul, Sang Hoon in goal, Hyun Soo, Nam Chun and Kim Ju Sung are the three along the back. Kwang Min is the right wing back. I'll break off just a moment because Dong Jin was trying to get there ahead of Zulkhairi. Zulkhairi wins the header. Here's Alibayev. Whipped in towards the back stick where Kwang Min is there. There's a handball there as the effort came in from Ju Jasong. Well, a handball's been given, which seems a little bit harsh on Alif.
Well, it's just that now, isn't it, Des? You know, it's a handball. That's it, period. Ball hits hand, handball, free kick.
Smacked it right on the noggin. Free kick. It's not quite 20 yards out. Chu Young will no doubtedly be the favourite. I suppose he's earned the venerability that he's been given. 68 international caps. A career to savour. Osmar might fancy it as well, left foot.
Well, he certainly would want to make amends for that own goal. He's got a very good left foot. He can curl the ball around the wall, around the goalkeeper. Alibayev has got a good left foot as well. But obviously they've left it to Omar now.
So Jeong and Alibayev have got to be at least 1 metre away from the wall. Yeah, Osmar might fancy a little bit of payback here. Sharrell scampers over, wants his wall to shuffle away, half a pace to the left. And then he's got to trust his wall. Park right foot, Osmar left. Belted in, Osmar Barber, 3-1.
Redemption. Well, we did say that, you know, he's got a wonderful left foot. And from a dead ball situation, and after hitting the ball past his own goalkeeper now, you know, he's he's made amends for it, and all the attention was on Chu Yong doing all the talking, directing his teammates in the wall, and Osmar, I mean, look at that, just smashes that one in. Good strike, super strike. Now the wall, but the goalkeeper didn't really get into a good position, did he? I think it was too central, but you can't take anything away from Osmar's strike. It was an arrow into the top corner.
Here's Rizal. Seoul 3, Kedah 1. The service possibly resumed after a good few minutes for Kedah. Looking to get on with it quickly. That's a disturbing sign if you're a Kedahan. Osmar scores at both ends.
Well, I think it's just about time where Aidil Shahrin will be looking at the bench and thinking, you know, what can I do now to help the team? You know, bring on fresh legs, perhaps give another player a chance, you know, at this level to gain some experience that could come in handy later in the season. And I must say that there's, you know, that I think, you know, Kedah might just have invested in the wrong Nazari. Omid is the better player. Amin, who's on the pitch today, really hasn't given Kedah anything.
Rizal Ghazali. Help forward. Basil Harry. Kipre was covered a little bit late. He's not happy with the challenge that's come in from Kim Hang-il.
Yeah, and Badrul Bakhtiar gets involved as well, pointing out to the referee that don't you think that's a yellow card in that one? But it's good to see there's a bit more intensity, a bit more fire now in amongst the players.
Good comfortable catch for Yu Sang-hoon. Out wide, Hang-il. Oh, Hang-il was just behind him. In many ways, he was too quick on the pass. Park Chu-young, though, still sees those openings.
That's just overhitting that one. Plenty of good passing, good movement. But you can't beat this. I mean, that was a rocket into the top corner from Osmar Barber. Straight. No two ways about it, just pure power. It hits the top corner. Those fans there, I mean, you know, they've been wonderful all game, but deep down inside them, they'll be thinking that, you know, we need to play much better. Especially when the group stages come along.
Pre-season, though, for them in the league hasn't started. Getting into the group phase is what it's all about. Dongjin, Sejong, Dongjin, thought of sliding one round. Sejong blocked by Zulheri. Adin. Sherman didn't like the attention he was being given and has tried to play a ball through to Kipre Cheche. Covering from the centre-backs, Jusung. You can see Sherman and Kipre. They're wanting to make a mark on this game. I think they know there's a lot of expectation back on their shoulders back home. So even in defeat, they need to be contributing.
Indeed, and they've worked really hard. I think, you know, they've done a lot of defensive work. They've done a lot of offensive running.
Dongjin couldn't get the shot away.
Well, let's see what kind of delivery, if at all, there is. Or is Bayev going for goal?
Ali Bayev did go for goal. It bobbles forward through to Sharil. Alibayev's not really got going. Couple of nice little passes sprayed out to either winger, but hasn't really been the creative spark you expected. Retained from last year's squad as well. This was Osmar, who's in now his 6th season at FC Seoul. Alibayev, look at the wide open space for Kim Han-gil. Han-gil, rather isolated. And then a little bit of space and guided through. Osmar once again. Goalkeeper Cheryl is still nursing that right calf that he injured in a clash with his own defender about 10 minutes ago. Indeed, he's stayed on the floor, Cheryl.
Well, it's interesting, Des, because we look at Kedah, who will be playing in the opening match of the season, which is also the Charity Shield, so to speak of, but there are 3 points at stake on the 28th of February, and the K-League kicks off on the 29th of February, so pretty much the two teams are in a similar pre-season period now. Although I would say that Kedah haven't looked that bad. I mean, they look sharp, but a bit disappointing. But like you said, Des, you know, it's that time of that pre-season where
Nazari has worked hard, but it's very difficult out there. There is Nazari once again. He's offloading it a lot quicker, noticeably in this second half. There he is, 1-2 touch. Ferry. Al Ghazali under pressure, and then has he given it away? No, Cheryl just got out. Panicking under pressure, though. Therein is the big difference. We saw it in the AFC Under-23 Championships. Players so composed when in possession of the ball up at the top level. Top Asian level. Han-gil drives it across Al-Khairi. Cleared by Nazari. Osmar comfortable in possession. Alibayev. Han-gil. Ali from Seja. Tried to come out, but couldn't take it past Osmar. The Spaniard. Very rare for a West European to make it to be a captain of the Korean side, but Osmar managed to do that at one stage. Not captain today, but a couple of years ago. Kipre, I'm liking his angry attitude. Cheche Kipre.
Yeah, you know, despite the circumstances, you know, normally, and this is quite common, you know, you get your foreign striker going, I'm not interested anymore. But credit to Kipre Chiche, he's kept on going. He's been chasing, he's been fighting, he's been wanting the ball, you know, and the attitude is very, very important. And you can see that I think Kedah have made a good signing in him for the new season.
It was won by Hyun-soo, and the two attack-minded centre-backs have been very prominent for FC Seoul. Well, you've been very critical of them. There are certain things about their system which are very noticeable and very eye-catching. Hyun-soo and Ju-sung, either of the wide full centre-backs, getting forward in great style.
They do, and that's very, very important as well. And they show composure on the ball. You know, when they come into midfield positions, they react like midfielders, they act like midfielders. When they get into wide positions, fullback positions, they behave like fullbacks. So for me, that is very, very important. We talk about you know, versatile players, and Hyun-soo and Ju-sung have shown that, you know, they can play in any position and play well. Double substitution that's coming up, and we're looking at it is number 18, Lee Sung-jae, a forward. He is on the team list. It'll be interesting to see who comes off. And Chan Hee, I think, is it number 25 as well, a midfielder?
Could well be. In the meantime, Cheche Kipre has aggressively won a corner kick for Kedah.
Well, delivery once again from one of the best from dead ball situations. Goes for the easy one this time.
Rizal. Badrol asks a question, and Kapal Sherman couldn't convert. Just couldn't get his neck muscles working, Chevy Singh.
Yeah, indeed, but a well-worked corner. And yes, he should have headed the ball with his forehead. Just not enough there. But once again, I mean, well-worked set piece from Kedah.
So the double change, Park Dong-jin, who scored the second, to be replaced. That's a like-for-like change with Lee Seung-jae. Ju Se-jong replaced by Han Chen-hee, again like-for-like.
Well, not changing the system, but bringing on fresh legs.
Barber's gone to the left-hand side of the back three. Kim Soo-jong it was, sorry, Kim Ju-sung it was, who went off. Chan Hee gone into the central midfield area, where Barber once more ordered. Well, he's got his goal. Alibayev.
2 goals.
2 goals, yes.
Not bad for a marauding midfielder.
Good defending. Coming over from Irfan Zakaria. First involvement from Chan Hee.
Oh, ship it.
Kyung-soo up there. Chan Hee lurking at the back. Osma decides, hey, maybe I'll score another. Park Chu-young inevitably with the set play. He nearly gets there and cleared off the line by Irfan Zakaria. Cheryl Sari is rolling around in injury, but a little bit of embarrassment. I'm not sure how much of a knock there was there.
I think there is a slight collision there, unintentional, obviously. Shin to knee from Shari, but it's good to see that the defenders were alert and they got rid of the ball. But great delivery. I mean, this time it was tipped into the near post, and it was Nam Chun, the centre back, the stay-home centre back, who actually got onto the end of that, almost.
Long way for these fans, but they'll remember it. They'll remember the goal that they scored. They'll remember the performances of Cheryl Sari, particularly in the first half. They'll certainly remember Renan Alves.
Not with fondness, and I think, you know, team management will seriously be looking at that and thinking, you know, it's not the first time, but at some point you've got to say enough is enough. Yes, no doubt he's a strong defender, but at the end of the day, he doesn't help the team when you have to play cup finals without your foreign defender. It doesn't help when your foreign defender thinks he's a goalkeeper. There are a lot of factors to concern, Des, because it affects the team morale. It does. Believe me, you know. You get somebody sent off for something silly like that, you know, and the players are looking at each other. They're looking at the coach and thinking, seriously? But they've put in a credible effort, I would say. Kudos to Kedah for not giving up, for working hard.
Alibayev. Seung Jae pulls it back for Chan Hee. Dispossessed by Hadin.
Just a little bit too much perhaps from Hadin in his own penalty box, but if you've got the confidence, why not?
Hyun-soo. AFC Champions League final round of playoff matches. Earlier on, Buriram lost to Shanghai by 3-0. Here it's 3-1 to Seoul, and a chance to make it 4. Belted over the top by Park Chu-young.
Definitely on the decline, Park Chu-young. Well, there's, I mean, you know, you got to look at your most experienced player, and you think, come on, you can do better than that. You must do better than that. You cannot do what you just did.
Hadin Azman to be replaced, and the dynamic young Kedah Zulkifli to come on for him.
Well, Hadin worked hard, you know, and that is what you want from every player. So Hadin has done his job under very, very difficult circumstances, and it's time for fresh legs. But I'm really surprised because I look at that central midfield and I think, you know, really Badul needs more help. Unfortunately, it looks like Amin Nazari, the younger of the two Nazari brothers. Omid obviously older and much better. So there's an area that I think Ideal Sharin needs to look at and say, you know, let's put in a midfielder who's going to get up and about and have more confidence on the ball.
Alibayev dispossessed. Sejong. Angil. Possession stats massively in favour of the home side. Chan Hee. Sejong, sorry. Asma. Alibayev. Angil allowed to run by Sejong. The second attempt picks up to deny Han Chan Hee.
But it's important now for Kedah not to collapse in the last 10 minutes. Shots from distance, we all know Shahril Sari can deal with them. But what is very important, like I say, is not to collapse now.
This stage last year, Malaysian representation was with Perak, and they lost 5-1 against Ulsan Hyundai. Inside, Rizal just enough.
I've been very impressed with Zulkifli, who came on as a replacement for Renan Alves.
Yes.
I think he's shown that, you know, he's a steady central defender. You know, he's shown composure on the ball.
Rizal takes a risk. And that's Harry to get involved. That was a bit short, and Nathan Zakaria it was, sorry, who just managed to get out of danger.
Keep going, I think, you know, that's important. Keep passing the ball. Yes, you're a man down, but you don't lose your composure, you don't do silly things. Keep the shape. The shape has been very good. You know, they try to play out from the back. Keep doing these things, you know, because that is what is going to be the key to competing in the domestic league in Malaysia.
Seung Jae. Asma. Alibayev tries to spin it through. Breaks out to Badrol. He's done good sentry duty. That's that time too much from Kim Nam Chun. Free kick goes the way of Kipre.
The central of the three central defenders, Namjoon, once again is at a very, very strong game defensively.
Rizal's long ball is meat and drink for Yoo Sang-hoon. And again, Kipre, I like that. He doesn't applaud a bad ball in. He had a whinge to Rizal, say, give it to my feet. Like, demanding standards. It's a sliding tackle from Alif. That'll be a yellow card. There's the screams from Chan Hee. Suggest he's really hurt.
But it certainly does sound very, very serious, and it'll be interesting to see how much of contact Alif got on that, on Chan Hee. He was more the steep foot. Yeah, that's... no, that's the ankle, yeah. Starts on the ankle. Definitely from Alif.
Yellow card for Alif. That's joined Renan Alves, 2 yellow cards.
For the substitute, he's just come on, and the last thing you want is to get a serious injury like that in pre-season. Basically, it is pre-season, but he'll be all right. I think he's a strong boy.
Livaev, 5 minutes for Kedah. He's gone down hurt again. He tried to chop back on. Did you see the ankle give way or something?
It hurts. It can get very painful if you get a knock on the outside of your ankle. Just it hurts, and it's going to swell up like a balloon if they don't quickly treat it with ice, or they put an ice pack around that ankle.
Well, the substitute being substituted. Chan Hee, I think, is coming off straight away. Is that Kim Min-soo? Another of the 23 contingent. Yellow card for Alif Yusuf, who did not look repentant at all. Seoul 3, Kedah 1. Seoul leading from a 38th minute penalty scored by Park Ji-young. They added a second with a thumping header from Park Dong-jin. Kedah scored courtesy an own goal from Osama, and then Osama went and belted in a free kick at the other end to make it 3-1. Osama, yes. Osma Baba, that's what I'm trying to say. Osma Baba.
Well, we can see that. I mean, it is a serious injury. He's got blood on his on that ankle area and just above the ankle area. So I did say it was touched on ankle, and it's no surprise. Yep.
Yes. Ouch. Yeah, that's worth a yellow card.
It is a yellow card.
You wouldn't do that in your playing days, would you, Shebby?
Never mistimed my tackles, Des. Got away with that. The timing of the tackle.
I wasn't around to contradict you either. Shebby Singh in the analyst chair today. Your view of Kedah ahead of the season and in this match?
Well, I would say that I like what I have seen. Under difficult circumstances, they've dealt with it really well. I think they've shown a lot of tactical discipline, defensive discipline.
It's young Jay. Good strong tackle coming in from Zulkhairi.
Yeah, we spoke about I like Zulkifli in central defense because I think he's a very, very steady central defender. The two up front, Kepa Sherman and Keprichiche, they worked their socks off as well. They've shown a great attitude. Badrul Bakhtiar sitting deep in midfield has had a good game. Likewise Alif, likewise Rizal. I mean, there's so many positives. Shahrial Sari has done well. They didn't collapse.
Still time to play. Felt it clear.
Physically or emotionally, and that is very, very important. So there's a good maturity about this Kedah team.
Alibayev. Kansu. It's a good point about the physicality. Very often you'll see Malaysian, Southeast Asian teams generally capitulating in terms of going down with cramp, but the fitness levels are clearly good.
There has been, playing with 10 men, and yet you've not seen a single player from the Kedah team go down with cramps. And that is remarkable because you're right, there's, physically, the Malaysian league suffers from players not being fit enough or strong enough.
A couple of recruits to the backroom staff may well be helping Kedah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I saw Azmi Ibrahim, former Malaysian sprinter, who is the fitness trainer. He was with JDT2 for a period of time. So when you get professionals to do a job, you know that you're going to see the results. And like I said, fitness-wise, Kedah have done well. Defensive discipline has been good. Collective spirit, attitude has been good. Minus Renan Alves.
Hangil though can still drive forward. Rizal does well. Seems to relish those physical challenges, Rizal Ghazali, but he's got another one to face against Osmar. He rifles it into the back of Rizal Ghazali.
He is a good defender. One-on-one situations, you're not going to go past Rizal Ghazali that easily.
Hangil.
I think judging on what we have seen, or rather what I have seen, I can tell you now that I think they're going to give JDT a run for their money, be it in the opening game of the season, which is the Piala Sumbangse, 3 points at stake there as well, or be it the season. If they keep up what they've shown today, the attitude, the desire, the defensive discipline, their individuals don't drop off in terms of performance.
Osmar just going to break off just for a second. Osmar was maybe looking for a second. Alibayev lines up the effort, finds the bottom corner. He's been looking for that one, Alibayev, and the Uzbek has delivered a gem of a fourth goal.
He certainly has. We saw him try that earlier on. It didn't really go for him, but this time, yes, afforded time and space, unfortunately, due to circumstances. Never easy. But credit to Alibayev, deserves the goal because he was just very, very persistent.
Badrul Bakhtiar to be replaced. And it's young Fazal Danil who scored the goal that earned Kedah their place in the AFC Champions League qualifiers.
Credit to Badrul Bakhtiar as well, as he hasn't looked out of place. He's a very, very experienced professional, and like I said, he could have played in the central midfield for FC Seoul, and you wouldn't have said, oh, that's a Malaysian. He really has done well in this game, showing his leadership qualities, great delivery to force Osmar Baba's own goal as well.
Seoul have scored 4. I think we expected a Seoul victory. We've got a Seoul victory. Kedah, it'll be a case of let's prepare for the new season, see what we can produce, see if we can score a goal now. Kapar Sherman through on goal. Sherman denied. And Kipre chases. Zulkifli can't get there either.
Well, there you have it. As you spoke about the attitude, spoke about the character of this team, right till the very end. They were fighting ever so hard. So all in all, I would say that Kedah have made FC Seoul earn this victory despite the circumstances. So I would say that, you know, for me, I think Kedah are going to be a team to watch in the Malaysian Domestic League.
Park Chu-young with the penalty that also saw the red card for Renan Alves. And then early in the second half, Park Dong-jin making it 2. Osma Baba scored at either end to make it 3-1 before the final goal from Alibayev. Final score, Seoul 4, Kedah 1.